Hello children, welcome to AIMS India's online classes. This is biology session, reproduction in plants part 2. In the last class, what is reproduction? And we have studied about some important methods of asexual reproduction. Can you define, children? What is reproduction? Yes. Reproduction is essential for the continuation of the line of succession and maintenance of a species in the biosphere. The reproduction methods are broadly categorized into two main types. What are they? Asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. So we studied about asexual reproduction. What is asexual reproduction? Asexual reproduction refers to the production of offsprings by a single parent without the formation and fusion of gametes, isn't it? It is also called agamogenesis or agamogeny. Okay, there are several methods of asexual reproduction. We have studied about the binary fission, budding, spore formation. Okay, and there is one more method called regeneration. What is regeneration? The formation of the whole body of an organism from a small fragment. It is also called fragmentation. Okay, in fungi. It is also called morphallaxis or the replacement of the lost part. Regeneration means the replacement of the lost part. Epimorphallaxis. It is also called epimorphallaxis. Okay. So in today's class, let us know about more the methods of reproduction in plants. Are you ready, children? Let us proceed. Vegetative reproduction or vegetative propagation. It is a type of asexual reproduction. Vegetative reproduction is a type of asexual reproduction. There are some methods are there. Let us go through. The first one, fragmentation. In multicellular or colonial forms of algae, molds and mushrooms, the body breaks into number of fragments and each fragment develops into a mature individual. This method is called fragmentation. So for example, Spirogyra. Spirogyra is a filamentous, it is an filamentous alga. Second, Gemme. It is a specialized structures for reproduction. It also involves fragmentation. Example, liverworts, bryophytes. Okay, Marchantia. Example, Marchantia, liverwort. So here in Spirogyra, you can see in the image, it is a filamentous alga which contain nucleus and the septae are present. So these septae breaks and each septa develop into a new individual. Okay, chloroplasts are spiral in nature. So like this, here it is a parental form, it breaks and develop into individuals. Okay. So this kind of reproduction, it is also a kind of asexual reproduction. It is called fragmentation. Another asexual reproduction example, Marchantia. Marchantia is a liverwort where specialized structures called gemme each one it is called gamma. It develops into thallus. Okay, so it is also a kind of a sexual reproduction. Next, in flowering plants, the structures useful for vegetative reproduction are called vegetative propagules. Vegetative propagules. So these vegetative propagules are as follows: rhizome, corm, tuber, bulb. So these are some of the structures where vegetative propagation is the most common type of reproduction in plants where the conditions are favorable. Vegetative reproduction is also a kind of asexual reproduction. It is of two types: natural methods of vegetative propagation in plants and man-made methods. Okay, the man recognized the importance of vegetative propagation and he introduced some methods of vegetative propagation. So let us know what is vegetative propagation. The method of plant multiplication occurring naturally in which a somatic part means vegetative part of the plant detaches from the body of the mother plant and develops into a new plant is called the vegetative propagation. So here it is taking place naturally, then it is called as natural vegetative propagation. There are many examples are there. Some few examples of natural vegetative propagation we will discuss. Okay, like rhizome. First let us discuss about rhizome. Rhizome is a modified stem. The modified horizontally growing underground stem is called rhizome. Okay, so children listen carefully. So what you have to do is, one example is given here. You have to find out the similar type of examples and add it to the list so that you can understand the concept better. The modified horizontally growing underground stem is called rhizome. Here one example is given, that is ginger. Okay, here you can see rhizome, but I say it is not ginger. Then what is it? It is another example, turmeric. Okay, ginger, turmeric, and some other examples. So many examples you can you may not know the exact name, but many examples are there under this method of propagation, rhizomes. Okay, canna, C-A-N-N-A, it is also one example. And another example, so tuber, it is also come under a type of the stem modification, underground stem modification. The stem modified horizontally grows under. So best examples which you are very familiar, they are ginger and turmeric. Next, corm. So corm is another modified vertically growing stem, vertically growing underground stem. For example, colocasia. You can see here. So this is rhizome, corm is colocasia, where the scale leaves develop. So this is the stem which undergo the modification and form the corm. So several these new corms will develop to the modified mother comb. Okay, so this kind of propagation where there is no production of gamete, there is no fusion of gametes. Okay, it is a modified stem which helps in the propagation of the plant. So vegetative propagation. So vegetative propagation involves the participation of several buds. Vegetative buds, they are called vegetative buds. So comb is also such kind of modification. Next, tubers. So tubers are underground stem. So these tubers may be the stem tubers. Example, potato. Okay, so these are all stem modifications only. Rhizome, comb, tubers. Okay, so here you can see bulbs also, the modification, stem modification. So combs, bulbs of onion, lilies, garlic. Okay, here onion is given for a bulb. Okay, so in your higher classes you will study there are two types of buds are there, bulbs are there. They are tunicated bulbs and imbricated bulbs. Okay, so that you will study in a higher class. So here a bulb means a underground stem modification which helps in the propagation of the plant. Example, allium cepa, or it is also called onion, commonly called as onion bulbs. So lilies, garlic also come under this category, and they serve as a means of vegetative propagation by producing the new plants when sown in the soil. And if you take potato, in potato the specialized structure called eyes. So you can see this is potato stem, this portion it is called eye, which involves in vegetative propagation. Eyes of potato, EYE. Okay, so in a potato bears the buds which grows into a new potato plant when planted with a portion of the swollen tuber. So each eye can develop into a stem tuber potato. Okay, and here comb example, colocasia, and another example also there like crocus or gladiolus. Gladiolus is also there. Okay, so these are all the scientific names, common names. If you see in the regional language, then you can understand better. Okay, so these are all the methods of some methods of vegetative propagation. Further we will discuss different modifications of underground stem which helps in the propagation of plants. Rhizome, comb, bulb, tuber. Tuber here potato is given, bulb onion bulb is given, rhizome ginger is given. The next comb colocasia. Okay, those names, examples, the method of propagation, very important, need to remember. Next methods of vegetative propagation. The next natural method, that is called runners. Runners, these are subaerial stem modification. The subaerial stem spread to a new niches and form new plants when older parts die. It is called runners. You can very often see these runners in the grass plants. Okay, oxalis and cynodon. Cynodon is also a type of grass, and even stolons in Vallisneria, offsets in Pistia. So they are all subaerial or prostate creeping stems, so which after breaking from many independent plants are produced. Some plants develop adventitious buds. So here in vegetative propagation we come across the term adventitious roots. Means if a root develop naturally from the seed, it is called the radical. When the radical develops into root system, that is a true root. But adventitious roots means other than radical, if any root is produced in the plant, then it is called adventitious roots. Okay. So these adventitious roots help in the absorption, and they acts like the true roots and help the plant. Okay. So these are some of the methods of another method that is called stolon. Stolon is a slender lateral branch arises from the base of the main axis and arches down to touch the ground, producing adventitious roots. Example: rose, nerium, and even you can take an example of strawberry. In that plant also suckers are present. Okay, next, suckers. The lateral branches originate from the basal and underground portion of the main axis. So for example, sword suckers are present in banana plant. Okay, it is also an underground stem modification. So pineapple, it is also propagated by suckers. Chrysanthemum is also a flowering plant which can be propagated by suckers. So here you can see runners, oxalis. So here this part can break and the part develop into new individual. So such type of continuation, okay, runners they are called. Then stolon, you can see here Vallisneria. Okay, you can see the nerium plant also. Nerium, okay, ganneru. Next, adventitious roots are developed in these suckers. Chrysanthemum, adventitious roots. The stem node touches the ground, produce the roots. This part, when you cut, this part is called a sucker, here to here, okay, which can grow into an individual. Here offset is also one type of vegetative propagation. Pistia, okay, water plant, a free floating hydrophyte which can propagate. So this internodal region can be breaked accidentally, and that portion with the offset grows into a new plant. Okay. Next, bulbils. Bulbils are another naturally vegetative propagation method. The modified vegetative or floral buds present in agave, discoria, and next one, vegetative part, reproduction by means of leaves, reproductive leaves. They are the modified leaves with adventitious epiphyllous buds, okay, the leaf buds. Example, bryophyllum. In bryophyllum, adventitious buds present in notches of leaf margins develop into new plants when come in contact with the soil. It is the best example. Another one for this leaf modification, you can see begonia, where the leaf is modified and produce the roots. So leaf margins like this. When you cut this portion and keep in the soil, it develops into new plant. So these kind of buds which are present on the margins of the leaf, it is called epiphyllous buds. Epiphyllous buds, a kind of vegetative propagation in bryophyllum and begonia. In vegetatively propagated plants like banana, potato, sugarcane, ginger, nodes present on the modified stems come in contact with the damp soil or water. They produce roots and grows into a new individual plant. Such type of propagation where the vegetative parts are involved is called as the vegetative reproduction or vegetative propagation. Okay, the plants raised through vegetative propagation from a single plant constitute a genetically uniform population, that is called clones are produced by vegetative propagation. There are so many advantages are there by means of this vegetative propagation or the asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction is a common method of reproduction in algae and fungi. Algae and fungi shift to sexual method of reproduction just before onset of adverse conditions. What does it mean? When the conditions are favorable, okay children, when the conditions are favorable means when the plenty of food is available, climatic conditions are suitable, the temperature, the moisture, the nutrients present in the soil, everything is comfortable or favorable, then the plant prefer asexual reproduction. Okay, and when the conditions are unfavorable, then these lower plants like algae and fungi, they shift to sexual reproduction by the formation of spores. Okay, the sexual reproduction is favored in algae and fungi to survive during adverse conditions. Adverse conditions means when the temperature is very high, when the water is not available, okay, when the food is not available sufficiently. So such adverse conditions, they develop thick walled spores called zygospores. Zygospores. So in higher plants also exhibit both asexual and sexual methods of reproduction. So you can see in lower group of plants like thallophytes, algae, fungi, in these plants even we can consider the cryptogams, means bryophytes and pteridophytes also. Though asexual reproduction repeated by sexual reproduction. In favorable conditions, here the picture shows asexual reproduction which involves only mitosis, cell division. When the conditions are favorable, these zoospores are produced. When the conditions become unfavorable, then these zygospores develop into gametes. These gametes we can call it as we won't call it as a male and female, we can call it as a plus strain and minus strain. The plus strain represents the male gamete and the minus strain represents the female gamete, and they form the zygospores when the conditions are unfavorable. These zygospores undergo the meiosis and they form zoospores. Okay, so these zoospores develop into new individuals. So this kind of asexual cycle followed by sexual cycle, repetition. Okay, so this vegetative method of reproduction is very important in the production of clones. It is a cheap method and rapid method of propagation of the plants with long periods of seed dormancy. So that's why this vegetative method of propagation is used widely in cultivation. Vegetative propagation has some disadvantages also, more we will discuss. Advantages of vegetative reproduction. The first advantage, it is an easier, rapid and less expensive method of propagation. Very easy to implement and it is very rapid and very less expensive. Okay. Then what do you want? These three are very important simple method characteristic features. Okay, the seedless plants can be raised. The plants which doesn't undergo the sexual reproduction, they can be propagated by this vegetative method. The plants produced by this method are identical copies of the parent plant, just like Xerox copies. Okay, genetically identical plants, we can call it as clones, can be produced by vegetative method of propagation. The superior quality of fruits or flowers are produced by the method of vegetative propagation, that is called grafting technique. Grafting. So horticultured and floricultured flowering plants can be propagated by using methods of vegetative propagation. They are grafting, layering, okay, grafting and layering. So early flowering and fruit formation is possible in the vegetative propagation. Early flowering. Early flowering means the flowers can be produced. So naturally, when you sow a seed or when you keep a seedling in the soil, it has to grow, then it has to mature, then it has to produce the flowers. But whereas in vegetative propagation, we have selected a branch which is already matured. So for that we are producing the roots and okay, we isolate it from the parent plant and grow into a new plant. So that's why early flowering and fruit formation is possible in vegetative propagation. These are all the advantages of vegetative propagation, but some disadvantages are also there, that also we have to discuss. Vegetative propagation has some disadvantages, such as good qualities cannot be introduced, nor bad characters are eliminated in the plants multiplied through vegetative propagation. Okay, means we can't introduce the new characters because it does not involve any the formation of gametes or fusion of gametes. Okay, it is purely asexual reproduction. So good qualities cannot be introduced, nor bad characters cannot be eliminated. Okay, this is the main disadvantage of vegetative propagation. For example, in a group of plants which are propagated vegetatively, if any disease contracted by the parent, it spreads to entire family, entire daughters. Okay, so that is another disadvantage. And the adaptability of the plants to change environmental conditions also decreased due to absence of variability. Okay, due to the absence of new characters or the genetic variability, so adaptability is very less in the plants propagated vegetatively. Okay, these are the some of the disadvantages of vegetative propagation. Okay, for every method there is advantage and disadvantage. So methods of vegetative propagation. The first one, based on the advantages of vegetative propagation, the human being, we recognized the importance, because as the population is increasing, definitely the food production must be increased. So as a result of which the man or the humans have used this method of artificial multiplication of useful plants, especially the food yielding plants, crop plants. Okay, some methods have been introduced. Some of these methods are as follows. The first one is cutting, stem or root cut. A portion of stem is isolated. So this is the first method of vegetative propagation. So a portion of stem is isolated and placed in the soil with suitable conditions. The success of this method depends upon the formation of roots, development of roots and leaves. Okay, once the roots are formed, that cut portion can develop into independent plant. So this method of vegetative propagation, we have to use the term method of vegetative propagation because it is not natural, it is man-made method. So in this method, rose plants, Coelus, bougainvillea, horticultural plants, these are sugar cane, and even cactus, stem cutting and root cutting. Root cutting example: carrot, beetroot, radish, turnip. These are all come under the root cutting. Whereas stem cut: rose, bougainvillea, sugarcane. Okay, in certain plants like lemon, tamarind, root cutting, when put in the damp soil, give rise to roots and shoots and form a new plant. So stem cutting and root cutting. It is one of the method of vegetative propagation. Some more methods we will discuss later. Okay children, I hope you understood. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for receiving latest updates.